Hello, my name is Rick Lewis. I'm the founder of All My Stories, and this is a series of prompt suggestions for storytelling. The reason that prompts can be so useful is that many of the good stories we have to tell just kind of sit resident in the background of our minds without us even realizing that we've had life experiences that are valuable or significant or could be to other people. And prompts are just an easy way to help us focus our attention, to shine a spotlight on an area of our experience that could be beneficial, entertaining, or inspiring for other people to hear about. So this is prompt number 9. And prompt number 9 is to recall a time when you had some kind of encounter or brush or sighting of a celebrity, someone who is famous or notable, even a niche celebrity, someone who might be well known in an industry, particular industry, or a profession that you're familiar with, or it could be a movie star or someone who is widely recognized by the public as being a celebrity. So if you have any story of an encounter of a celebrity that changed your perception of them. Maybe you didn't hold them in very high regard, and something about what you observed elevated elevated the extent of your regard for them. Or maybe there's someone that you really liked, and then a encounter in person with them changed your mind about how much you like them. So that's today's prompt. So my story starts with driving down main traffic artery near my town. It was a fall afternoon during rush hour. I was trying to get home. And I'm driving down this very busy street. I'm in the right-hand lane, and I'm needing to make a left-hand turn pretty quickly. But because there was so much traffic, it was hard to get into the left-hand lane. So I'm driving down the street, realizing that my turn is coming up, and there's a steady stream of traffic, but suddenly there was a little opening in the left-hand lane. And I had a choice to make. I could quickly pull over into the left-hand lane, knowing that I was going to make an abrupt stop and have to make a left-hand turn very shortly after changing lanes, in which case I would probably piss off whoever was behind me. I know how much I hate that when someone pulls into the left-hand lane and then quickly signals to make a turn, and suddenly you have to stop for someone who's just shifted lanes. So I hesitated for a moment, but then decided I really don't want to drive way out of my way to get home. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to bite the bullet. I'm going to make that left-hand lane shift and then signal for my left-hand turn. So I did. And after I pulled into that lane and signaled and braked because I'm going to make the turn, now I'm waiting for oncoming traffic to stop, and everyone behind me is having to stop. And I look up in my rear view mirror because I'm wanting to check how upset is the person who's directly behind me. I don't like upsetting people. I don't know if anybody does. Maybe there are some people who do, but I didn't want to upset anybody. I just wanted to get home. So I'm looking in the rearview mirror to see how upset is this person. And what I saw was the face of a very well-known person. And the well-known person who was driving the car behind me was Eckhart Tolle. Now, Eckhart Tolle is the author of a book called The Power of Now, which came out maybe like 25 years ago. But at this event that I'm talking about, this story happened many years ago. It was just after The Power of Now had been written. The Power of Now is a book all about basically spiritual presence, spiritual practice, being non-reactive and kind and steady in life, meditation. That's what the whole book was about. And it became very famous very quickly. It's a kind of a new age spiritual book. And Eckhart Tolle was just catapulted into celebrity status as this wise sage guide on the spiritual scene. So I look up, and that's the person who is sitting in the car behind me that I see in my rearview mirror. Now, when I read Power of Now, I read it and I took it with a grain of salt because I had seen a lot of books about spirituality by various spiritual teachers, many of whom, since that time, had scandals break about them. Often these books seem to depict teachings by people who are talking a very high game, but in actual practice in real life, were not living up to the ideals that they espoused. So seeing Eckhart Tolle there in my rear view mirror, I was very curious, like, what's the reaction of this person? And I was surprised to see that in actuality, Eckhart Tolle had not the slightest shred of negative reaction to me pulling right in front of him, suddenly braking in his lane and forcing him to sit there and wait in traffic until I could make a turn. There was not a ripple of displeasure. There was no grimace. There was no judgment of me. Not a shred of that crossed his face. He was completely relaxed, serene, non-reactive to the event of me cutting him off and making him stop in traffic. And I found that really impressive for all my kind of suspense of giving him the benefit of the doubt or assuming that this person really has something wise to offer. I took the book and all the rhetoric is kind of like, yeah. So many people say this, but here I was watching this man who had become very well known for his teachings actually walk his talk in a very substantial fashion, sitting behind me in traffic. So that was pretty cool because it changed my mind about how much credit or credence I was willing to give this celebrity spiritual teacher on the scene credit for who he is and what he's saying, because it's real. Clearly was real for him. He was walking his talk. So that's my story of my brush with a celebrity. If you can think of a story or prompt about an encounter with a celebrity that changed your mind somehow about your opinion of them, share your story and visit me at honestlyhuman.com. That's where I am posting many of my blog posts about storytelling. And you can even chime in there and tell us our story. Thanks for listening. I'll see you next time.